Hey y'all, it's Elizabeth Weimeller, and we are getting ready to start a new month. So April 2025 is upon us. We are through the first quarter of 2025 officially as of April 1st, which is just crazy how fast this year is going. And with that, we've made it through the March 29th solar eclipse that I talked about in the March video, and that if you get my newsletter, you've seen. If you get my newsletter, you also got the special edition of the Saturn video, and what that kind of means, what that entails, and all of that fun stuff. If you missed it and you get my newsletter, you can see it below in the newsletter because I've linked it. If you don't get my newsletter, well, you can go find it because I did put a video up somewhere. So it's kind of an Easter egg, but I'll link it below so you have access to it if you want to see it. And that is Saturn transiting into Pisces, which is happening for the next 2.5 years. Kind of just going to dive on in with what to expect in April because why waste time? So, April 2nd, Mars is going to be transiting into the sign of Cancer. That it is its weakest sign. It has already spent time in the sign of Cancer because of its retrograde motion. So, Mars was in Cancer from October 20th of 2024 until January 21st of 2025. Just kind of take the time, think back to during that period of time, what happened. It will give you insight into what to expect from the time Mars is in Cancer this time, which is April 2nd until June 6th, 2025. And this is kind of its round out of finishing its time in Cancer with its retrograde motion until the next 2 year cycle comes around in a couple of years. So anything that kind of began during that retrograde period, events that happened before the retrograde started that happened in Cancer, those are going to kind of come back around. They're going to cycle back. They're going to close out, especially if you are in a Mars period, whether it's the main dasha, Mahadasha, or a subdasha. Um, so that's going to be more powerful if you're in a dasha segment thing period related to Mars versus if you're not. But even if you're not, there can still be events happening. One of the things with Mars and Cancer is because Mars is weaker in Cancer, it can be a time when, we need to take the time to step back and the time to think on decisions and allow emotions to calm down before jumping feet first. We can be more prone to fatigue. So just be mindful you're taking care of yourself, putting yourself first and your needs first, not so overworking yourself that you push yourself to a point of getting sick. It can kind of feel this transit of Mars through Cancer might feel a little stagnant. It might slow your ability to implement. So just give yourself grace. Don't set aggressive deadlines during this time because they may not be met. So just don't do it, and then you won't have those expectations. It is going to be very important to express any emotions you have in a respectful way and to release them through exercise, meditation, or kind of any other method that you found that works for you. So if you're really pissed off, for example, which is usually the emotion that we should not be expressing quite as forcefully sometimes, get out, go for a run, go for a walk, go to a gym with a punching bag and punch the punching bag. Do anything that gets that anger and aggression out of you and not towards other people. But again, it's going to be what works best for you. Could be a bit of feeling of insecurity under this transit. So just give yourself grace. Just really be nice to yourself, and don't be mean to yourself. So that's Mars in Cancer. That happens April 2nd. And again, Mars will be in Cancer until June 6th of this year. April 7th, everybody's favorite little trickster planet, Mercury, will finally be stationing to turn direct, completing another retrograde cycle. So another one in the books. One of the things with stationary planets is on that day. So, for example, April 7th, Mercury stationary that day. Expect more travel delays. Expect, especially a day or two before, a day or two after, but definitely the day of, expect travel delays, expect potential technological difficulties. Be cautious with your communication. There could be more communication issues, more miscommunication. Mercury will, however, when it stations, still be transiting in its weakest sign of Pisces until May 6th. So you just need to really put more effort into communication. You need to make sure it's concise. You need to make sure that all parties involved are on the same page and that they all heard the same message. Mercury is the planet of logic and intellect, so it doesn't do as well in the dreamy and emotional side of Pisces. But the good news is that Venus is also transiting in Pisces right now, and Venus is at its strongest in Pisces, so this will help offset the weaker Mercury energy right now. April 10th, Mercury and Rahu will be in an exact conjunction at 3 degrees of Pisces. Because of Mercury's retrograde motion, we've already experienced this energy on March 1st. So, kind of think around that time, may see a little bit of that same energy as March 1st. Mercury and Rahu's conjunction is really a time of heightened communication. Rahu expands things, and Mercury is the planet of communication. It could be a time where some become more obsessive about certain ideas, information, or topics. It can bring kind of an exaggeration. So just be mindful that what you hear, kind of filter it in, but don't jump to any conclusions yet on it, because you may find that new information comes out once this conjunction separates. One of the other things is you may find some people under this Mercury Rahu conjunction, they kind of become a little more assertive or persuasive in their communication. So if some salesperson, for example, comes and tries to sell you something, just take time, think through it, wait till this fully separates more. April 12th, Venus, the other planet that is currently retrograde in Pisces, will also be stationing to turn direct. Remember, Venus in Pisces is a time of creativity and passion. It can bring a love of beauty and luxury. It can bring others to care deeply about those around them and those they meet. It is going to be very important while Venus continues its transit of Pisces, where it'll be until May 31st, not to overindulge, and kind of pick the healthy food options because you can be more prone to overindulging and stuff. But enjoy the rest of the Pisces or the Venus in Pisces transit. It's a beautiful transit. It's made even stronger by the fact that Jupiter is transiting still in Taurus, which is Venus's sign, and Pisces is ruled by Jupiter. So they are in a Parivartana yoga, which just means they're in each other's signs of rulership. So their energies are even stronger. With both Venus and Mercury moving forward again, it can bring a time when you have the opportunity at second chances with things that might have been missed in March. So it could be relationships, it could be work projects, anything that comes to mind. It is going to depend on what house Pisces rules for you. So with any of this, the house that's getting the most energy, that's going to be the house to really watch. So in this case, Mercury and Venus are both in Pisces. So whatever area of that life Pisces rules for you is where you might have second chances related to that. April 13th, we do have a full moon at 29 degrees of Virgo conjunct the powerful fixed star Spica. This fixed star is very much associated with prosperity, success, and talent. When planets conjunct this fixed star in like a natal chart, you do see fame, that you see people get fame from their natural gifts and their talents. So it may come up through YouTube videos, for example, like Justin Bieber, who has a planet really close to the fixed star Spica. Or they end up being more well known. So in their industry, in their section. So one of the things also with full moons is it's not a time to begin new projects. So not the time to begin a new project. Because that new moon is happening at the last degree, that full moon is happening at the last degree of Virgo. That means that the sun also will transit into Aries on April 13th, and it's going to make its annual transit into Aries. So the sun is very strong in Aries. It's a sign of exaltation. This can be a time where like you can take more initiative. There is potential for a lot of self-starting energy. However, this year it's going to be a little mixed because the ruler of Aries, Mars, is in its weakest sign of Cancer. So while the sun will kind of strengthen the fact that Mars is weak, it just may not pack as much of a punch. So there may be days where, you have a ton of energy and then the next day you're kind of like, why do I have no energy? So we're going to kind of see some mixed feelings with that sun and Mars, energy. But overall, you can have the ability to take more initiative. You may find that you're more courageous, more ambitious during this transit of the sun in Aries, which lasts until May 14th. Some may find they're a little more irritable. And maybe, there is potential to get a little too controlling, too authoritative. So just keep in mind that. Again, um, this could be a time with the sun in Aries that we kind of see world leaders pushing their agendas too strongly. But again, it's going to be a little mixed with that Mars in Cancer because it could kind of be more like a dog that's all bark and no bite. April 15th begins the close conjunction of Saturn and Rahu. So they are then, starting April 15th, they're within a degree of each other until April 30th. Their exact conjunction is going to be on April 20th at 2 degrees of Pisces. Rahu and Saturn conjunct can create a bit of anxiety, a bit of paranoia. So really during this period, work on staying grounded. Don't let your thoughts take over. Be sure to get outside, get sunlight, eat fresh foods. Anything that kind of comes to mind, give it time. Don't jump to conclusions about it. One of the things is the good news is that while Saturn transits in Pisces, this is the close conjunction from April 15th to April 30th within a degree, but they're still in the same sign. Rahu and Saturn are still in the same sign until May 29th when Rahu finally moves into a new sign, which will really give the full relief. April 17th, Mercury and Neptune are going to be exactly conjunct at 6 degrees of Pisces. This can be a transit when you gain insights through your dreams or meditation. It can be a time to bring opportunities or that can bring opportunity for artistic expression and using your creativity and imagination. But on the flip side, it is Neptune mixed with the planet of communication. So there could be some mixed issues with communication. It could be a time where there's some illusions around communication, could be some times where communication is unclear. It is a quick hit because Mercury is moving forward again. It's moving so fast. But remember, this conjunction happened 2 other times in the past month because of Mercury's retrograde motion. So the last 2 dates this occurred was March 2nd and then March 29th at the solar eclipse. So think about what happened around those days, and that'll kind of give a little insight into this final conjunction of Mercury and Neptune. April 22nd, Saturn, Venus, and Rahu are going to be conjunct at 2 degrees of Pisces because of the Rahu Saturn influence. And we're going to throw Venus into this mix. There could bring some paranoia around relationships. Remember, Venus is the planet of love. Rahu and Saturn together can bring paranoia and anxiety. So just don't jump to conclusions. Wait until this conjunction separates more. And then if you need to have a conversation. But I would really recommend waiting until after April 30th as Rahu and Saturn get further than a degree away from each other. Lastly, April 27th, we have a new moon at 13 degrees of Aries. This is going to be occurring in the lunar mansion of Bryony, and the new moon could bring the potential for some struggles and obstacles, but it's ultimately going to result in a personal breakthrough. This is a very transformative new moon and a time to look to break away from those things that have been holding you back. And remember, new moons are a good time to reset, to rest. Once the moon starts showing light again, it can be a really good time to begin projects as well. So just keep that in mind on April 27th. April is a busy month. You've got Mercury and Venus both finally exiting their retrograde state. So we may begin to feel more of that forward momentum. There's a lot of opportunity just in this world, and you are the one who controls your own ability to grab that opportunity. So keep that in mind. And as I always say, get comfortable being uncomfortable because that's when we really grow. That's when we really see things in new ways. That's when we get opportunities. So get outside your comfort zone and see where that takes you. Now, I know you're kind of like, okay, great. That's the high level. We're going to talk about each sign now. So, as you know, if you've been with me a while, if you're new, I do high level for each of the 12 zodiac signs. I always say look at your ascendant or your moon sign. Those are going to be the two to really pay attention to. If they're different, it does give a little more flavor of what to expect. But these are also really broad, high level, and it doesn't take into account where your natal planets are, what dasha period you're in, or any of the other details. So, with that being said, Aries, this can be a great time to make sure that your home has a positive flow of energy and that there's nothing that's stagnating that energy. It's going to be really important to maintain your responsibilities to family, work, and any education you may be doing. There can be some tension around your home with arguments or disagreements. Let them settle, step back, wait till those tensions have calmed before having a conversation because it will be a more meaningful conversation when you are not in anger. One of the things for you is it can be really good to get your car checked out to avoid any expensive car problems. And if you've been avoiding stuff, I'd probably get those fixed this month or it might get worse. Taurus, this can be a great time to start working out. You're going to have a higher physical strength this month. It's time to let your inner child out to play and enjoy the most in life. Use this time to really express yourself through music, dance, writing, art, or athletics. It's going to be very important for you to stay calm during your communications. Be that voice of calm and reason, but really make sure you're not hogging the attention. For you, Taurus, if you have siblings, don't pick fights with them this month. It's not gonna end well. So just wait. Don't pick on them. Don't nitpick. None of that. It can also be a really great time for you to focus on selling and self-promotion. Gemini, you could find that you are more direct this month, which was, while it can be beneficial, it does bring with it the need to watch what you say, because you could get into trouble if you don't take the time to think through what you're saying, as well as who your audience is and what you're saying to them. It can be a good month to take a short course to learn new information quickly. You can be more impulsive with your spending this month. Just be mindful and really work to stick to your budget. And it could also be really important to take some time, or it is going to be very important for you, Gemini, to sit down, take the time, enjoy your meals in order to avoid digestive upsets. Cancer, you will find you are have more ambition and energy to accomplish your goals and to tackle things on your to-do list that may have been hanging over your head. You're going to feel able to tackle tasks that had seemed overwhelming before. You really had the ability to complete unfinished projects more efficiently this month. Just really be sure to take advantage of this opportunity, because why not use the planetary energy in your favor? One of the things is, though, because you can move so quickly this month, one of the things to be aware of is the fact that you may be a little more accident prone. So just be mindful. While moving quickly is really great, being more efficient is great. Pace yourself so you don't get burned out. It is going to be very important as well for you to watch your temper and take a breath before reacting on impulse. So whether that's sleeping on it, counting to 10, whatever you need to do. Leo, make sure that your home is protected this month. Double check that all the doors are locked and the windows are closed before leaving the house. It can be a good time to get ahead of any credit card debt and pay ahead on your credit cards, so that you don't have anything overwhelming you. It's also a good time to really look at your finances, reassess, rebudget as needed, especially if you have not checked it on a while. So if you have been ignoring some of what I talked about, because I know I've talked about budgets in a couple past months, now's a good time to really check in. For you, Leo, you may find that your sleep is a little more disturbed, which can leave you feeling a little more tired. But just know it's a passing influence, unless, of course, your natal chart says otherwise, and then you're just used to it and you know how to work around it. Virgo, this month you can see your cash flow increase as opportunities present themselves to you. It can be a great month to get out, socialize with friends, make time to have fun and enjoy life. It's going to be really important, however, to watch your back, as there could be people who pretend to be your friend that do not actually have your best interest at heart. For you, it's very important to avoid any get rich quick schemes, because someone will get rich, but it won't be you. One of the other key things for you is not to loan any money to friends unless you're okay never getting repaid, because it will not be a loan if you loan them money right now. It'll be a gift. So be okay with it. Libra, this is a good month to promote yourself. It may be making it known about the projects you've accomplished at work or a project you're working on. Take action this month. Don't overthink decisions to the point of missing out on the opportunities. It's important to remember to respect your boss. It can also be a good month to consider your career path and what you see as next steps. Make that plan, start implementing it. If you're considering asking for a promotion, just really be sure to gauge your employer's reactions before making demands right now. Scorpio, this can be a lucky month for you. You're going to feel more inspired, but at the same time, you may feel you can't trust that inner knowing, that inner gut. So it's really important to remember to trust your heart, trust your gut. Even though you feel you can't trust it, trust it. It usually never steers you wrong. Actually, I've never had mine steer me wrong. So it's also a month for you to break the links to those who are controlling you or trying to control you and tell you how to live your life. You may find that authority figures, which includes like bosses, parents, whatever, may come across as demanding of your attention and respect. Just be aware that there may be some motivations that are unclear or hidden, as well as don't pick any fights with your boss or your dad this month because the outcome won't work in your favor. Sagittarius, support can come quickly this month, whether it be help from others or money. Your curiosity about a topic may lead you to dig deeper and learn more about it. You're going to find your mind is full of ideas and insights and new ways of thinking of things. Be sure to have a notebook nearby, and write them down so that they don't pass you by because they may float in and float right back out. You could feel more worried and vulnerable during this month, Sagittarius, but that too will pass unless your natal chart says otherwise. It can be a really good month to check in on your health because you may find that issues surface this month and it can be really good to catch them early. So for you, great month to do like a cleanse or a detox, but make sure you talk to your doctors before just doing them. Capricorn, passions will be higher between you and your partner during this month, whether it be marriage or business. Just be mindful that if it feels like your marriage partner or business partner is attacking your character, that you let them release steam because they're probably projecting anger at others onto you. It's going to be really important for you to remain calm, cool, and collected to allow for a favorable outcome in your favor. And just for you, focus on those projects that can be really completed quickly and pay attention to the details of any contracts or agreements you're signing this month and can be beneficial to have somebody else take a quick look and make sure you're not missing anything. Aquarius, take the initiative to improve yourself and your skills. There can be more tension and aggression at work that could leave you feeling more uncomfortable. This is a really good month to begin that exercise regime that you've been talking about. We're going to take talk and turn it into action this month. It can also help to release any tension that's building up in you. You may be a little more prone to getting sick this month or overheating. Just be mindful, put your health first. Don't overstress your body. If you feel like you're pushing too hard, slow down just a little bit, especially if like you've worked out 7 days a week for 3 weeks in a row. So just keep that in mind. Pisces, it's a great time to make fun to have great month to have fun. Make time to have fun. Pisces, make time to have fun. I can't talk. It's still Mercury retrograde. It's fine. It can be playing with your kids or getting out, doing something fun, getting together with your friends. You may find that inspiration comes from unexpected places or even completely out of the blue. You will feel you have a clearer vision during this period. It's just a month to show your passion. So do it, get out, show that passion. But don't make any rash decisions. Take the time, cool down, sleep on any decisions, weigh the pros and cons because you don't want to wake up regretting any of those decisions. So that is your April 2025 insights and high level sign predictions. If you are interested in, if you've never had a natal reading, I will put a link below. If you have worked with me before and you haven't done a yearly update, no time like the present to get a yearly update. Otherwise, I hope everybody has a wonderful May and that you just go with the flow, ride the wave. Not May, April, whatever month it is. I hope everybody has a wonderful April. Again, Mercury retrograde. Wonderful April. I will see you all in May for the next round. And if you don't already, like and follow. And yeah, I will see each of you next month. So just have a wonderful April and enjoy, ride the wave, get comfortable being uncomfortable, all those things, and go with the flow. So until then, I will see you later.